Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Casper Network, so let's just dive in. And let's start off with this tweet here that I seen today. And we do see Casper will be in the top 10 soon, and non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, with at least 45 of the Fortune 500 companies. $7 to $10 billion valuation of patents as NFTs will be minted by IPWE. Yet to be listed on Binance, Coinbase, and other major exchanges, tokenized assets, and more. As we actually look at Casper, right? So everyone's always focused on that all-time high of $1.33, and I know that, technically speaking, like if you go off of the ICO price, there's a lot higher prices than the $1.33 area. I actually looked at where Casper would be in it if it was in the top 10. I have a historical snapshot over here, but even if we go over here to the coin market cap, and we actually look at the dominance of some of these assets, I mean, the top 10 is almost 1%. Almost all of these assets are holding almost roughly 1+% of market dominance. That is pretty significant considering the fact that this market is a $1.14 trillion market, and these assets are holding 1% plus value of that. And I know that to some people that doesn't sound like much, but during a bear market or during a time where we are now, where assets are still holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5+% of market dominance, that's significant. And the reasoning why is because if we go and look at the total too, so we know that there's two areas of interest on the total too. One is the May timeframe and even the April timeframe, where a lot of people think that we did top out, like they thought that this was our topping point for the market. But then we also do see November, which November was roughly the almost $7 trillion area. By the way, this is just altcoins, but $1.7 trillion here. In May, it was roughly right around the same range, as about like 1.5 trillion or so. But if we are looking at this, and we are going to see this continue to rise. I don't know if we are going to repeat the same percentage rise here, but if we do, we will be right around $6 trillion for the altcoin market. If we go and actually look at the total itself, here we have the total, and we look at this as, all right, well, this is our starting point. This is what we can go off of. Here we have the top of 2017, 2018. Here we have the recent top of 2020 and 2021. We know that this was a rise of roughly almost 300%. It was 2.9x. And if we are looking at where we are at today off of our all-time high, then 290% would take us right to roughly around $12 trillion for the overall market. Now, at $12 trillion, that is pretty significant considering the fact, again, 1% of that would be about $120 billion in market cap. If you look at $120 billion in market cap for Casper, that is a significant price. But if you go back all the way to 2020 and you go back to April, not all of these assets were holding 1% plus market dominance, or if you will, hitting around $100 billion in market cap. A lot of these did have a lot of fluctuations during 2021, but usually most of this started around the middle to the end of April, where we have XRP hitting almost like, I think it was like almost $80 billion in market cap or something like that. Then we've seen it fluctuating between BNB. Dogecoin was there as well. Dogecoin, I think, topped around, I want to say May. It was like around, excuse me, around the middle to the end of May, hitting about, I think it was like $94 billion market cap. The major thing that I want to get at with all of this, though, is that all of this money will trickle down the top 10. And if we are going to see Casper in the top 10, then I could see it around our price valuations that I mentioned in the past, around roughly $3 to $6 to possibly even $10 per Casper, which would be very significant if it does hold 1% of the market dominance. Now, the big question is, will it have that 1%? But 1% is something where I feel good at a starting point, because even right now in the top 10, we do see 0.70% being right on par with the average in the top 10. We know that ADA, for an example, was holding around 4% market dominance, but it all depends, right? It all depends on the hype, the substance, and how big some of these coins do get. But I would say 1% is a pretty good starting point for Casper. And if that's the case, and we do go to anywhere between, 10 trillion to 12 trillion, then you'll see Casper at roughly a 100 to $120 billion market cap at its all-time high, which will definitely be something to watch for. But now I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about a few things. So, supply chains. We do see over here from Casper Labs, this got posted on May 12th. The need for healthier supply chains has never been greater. Outside factors have uniquely strained the global supply chain, thanks to an especially turbulent few years. Here's how blockchain is bringing clarity to a chaotic supply chain. And over here, we do see unpacking blockchain's potential on the supply chain. Transparent, tamper-proof data stored on blockchains, which have no single point of failure, means that all parties, including supplier partners, logistics partners, and customer teams, are simultaneously access the information they need, or can simultaneously access the information they need. This enables real-time updates, which can improve decision-making across every point of the supply chain and can result in proactive updates to end customers. And with standardized data, no one team is waiting on information from another to carry out their step of the process, removing bottlenecks and empowering businesses to operate autonomously. And I do think that as we look at smart contracts, as we look at blockchain technology, all of this, everything that we are seeing is moving into an efficient standard. We do see, say, inventory for latex gloves at a healthcare company is getting low. A smart contract can power an automatic purchase so the business never runs out. Additionally, if a supplier accidentally ships too many latex gloves and inventory doesn't dip when expected, the business won't overorder and waste associated cost. At Casper Labs, our blockchain solution offers upgradable smart contracts which enable decision makers to make changes to automated workflows and when necessary, or easily patch any vulnerabilities that may arise. And we are starting to see businesses focus greatly on the supply chain business. I think that this is only going to continue to grow and grow and grow. They do mention WiseKey actually. I actually have WiseKey open over here. There's a PDF file around this, and we do see WiseKey with Casper Labs. WiseKey and Casper Labs will revolutionize supply chain management. How we are connecting IoT, the Internet of Things devices, to satellites to track goods on the Casper blockchain. And we do see the WiseSat .space constellation launch with SpaceX enables the direct connection of satellites to IoT devices. This is huge. And we do see down here the challenges, how to guarantee the condition and location of products in the supply chain, how to use the data to manage demand for products that may be in short supply, how to ensure that nobody can tamper with the data, how to speed up documentation for cross-border transactions. And we do see how we helped. And this is all through WiseSat.space. And we could see that it has the ability to communicate with the IoT devices in remote parts of the world. We can capture data that enables us to track high-value assets and accelerate their distribution to the right location at the right time. And we do see there are an estimated 50 billion connected devices worldwide, ranging from sensors on critical infrastructures like the power grid or water supply to the IoT devices that can track the condition of goods in the supply chain using the WiseSats orbiting space satellites. We can securely relay data to the Casper blockchain, where a single source of truth accelerates how business can or gets done. And I do think that this is huge. I think that this is a big deal. And I think that supply chain management, as well as supply chain finance and things like that around supply chain, is very large. We've talked about this even with Hedera with track and trace. It's a very large use case, and it's very big for the supply chain industry. And we also do see over here, businesses are loath to adopt cryptocurrency, but businesses see massive potential in blockchain. I actually just recorded a video talking about Casper, where we were addressing the 87% of executives that are investing in blockchain technology this year. And supply chain is one of those big areas. And even in the report, we do see that persistent knowledge gap, steep learning curve. This is to really kind of counteract the problems around crypto and adopting crypto. We do see within this, though, that supply chain, making supply chains more efficient, 34% were looking at this as a major innovation that they were focused on. And of course, we do see other ones here as well, like building internal operational workflows, developing software applications, managing contracts, and even hiring and recruiting. But as we really kind of look at this, like I do think that even the supply chain management area is definitely something to watch for around Casper. But there's also so many other industries. But this also puts things into perspective on how large of an opportunity we have here with even Casper, very similar to even Hedera. And we do see, for instance, the supply chain. Blockchain technology enables organizations to manage a goods life cycle from the time that it is created to the time that it may be certified to the time it is sold or transferred, and it could ultimately be sold or transferred multiple times. Not only that, its conditions, say temperature, can be verified at any given point in its journey from point A to point B. And remember, right, the number one thing that I mentioned around Hedera with this is that during this entire process, it is creating multiple transactions, and it's not just one transaction on the network. There is multiple transactions. So the network that's being utilized within this needs to be scalable. That's why Casper is perfectly suitable for this, very similar to Hedera. And we do see Quest Global to build new supply chain solutions on the Casper network as well, going all the way back to 2021. This is actually a big deal because of how large Quest actually is. And I do think that this is one to watch as well. If you wanted to make sure that to like pay attention to a company, Quest Global is one. We do see that for more than 20 years, Quest Global has been a trusted global product engineering and lifecycle services partner to many of the world's most recognized companies in the aerospace and defense, automotive, energy, high-tech, medical devices, rail, and semiconductor industries, with a presence in 13 countries, 56 global delivery centers, and 11,250 plus personnel. Quest Global believes that it is at the forefront of the convergence of the mechanical, electronic, software, and digital engineering innovations to engineer solutions for a safer, cleaner world. So this is a very large company. And in fact, if you actually look into their corporate studies, check out some of the names that they are tied to. So here we have partnership. Our engineering services and solutions for product development and product lifecycle management are further strengthened through our partnerships with market leaders in technologies related to edge cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and industrial IoT. Now, at first, you're like, okay, well, these are some pretty large partners. Like you have Microsoft, you have NVIDIA, AWS, Google Cloud, Databricks, all of these other ones. And then look at down here. You have Casper sitting right next to all of these major names. I really do think that this is one to watch for. I'm very excited about this because, you know, this has been something that's been in the works for a while, and you guys can learn all about this company if you want to do a little bit more of a breakdown on them. They are a very large company, and I do think that with Casper tied to them, it's only a matter of time until the supply chain itself is being disrupted by technology like Casper, because even Hedera is in on this game. Like, they are focused on supply chain because of how large of an innovation it is, but also the network effects from it. Like I said, every step of the way is a transaction. And we do see even over here, Casper Labs will power distributed digital certificates and blockchain applications in Fuzhou, China. Within this, if you actually search up supply chain, we do see that this edition will support the legal issuance of non-fungible tokens in mainland China and support Fuzhou government entities and businesses with access to a reliable and innovative blockchain network in a variety of industries, including supply chain, patents, and even event management. And yeah, I do think that this is a big deal. I think everyone should focus up on this. And we do see NFTs, DDDCs have many different applications in today's business environment, and not just the well-known music and art applications. This technology can also be used to track individual goods through the supply chain, protect intellectual property and patents, authenticate event tickets, and much more. Because the Fuzhou China eliminates the use of cryptocurrencies Fuzhou chain, eliminates the use of cryptocurrencies to pay for gas fees, it is much simpler for developers in and around Fuzhou to generate public and private blockchain applications at a lower cost while remaining compliant with Chinese regulations. Again, all of these are centered out on the same exact focus point, right? Supply chain, patents, event management, things like that. Like, I think that this is so exciting. I do think that this is something very innovative as well. And as we do look at how large this could be, I think that this is a very large innovation. And I do think that Casper's at the forefront of the Web3 economy. And I think that as we do look at where Casper could go, I do think that it is a top 10 gem. And I do think that we could very well see it within the almost $100 billion market cap area. I mean, I think that it could easily hit it, but it all depends on how much, substance there is, how much hype around the coin there is. I mean, obviously, they're not here to build hype. They're not here to, do any of that. They're here to build. They're here to allow for the enterprise grade sector to tap in and utilize Casper to its fullest extent. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. It's just up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.